Hey there, everybody. I wanted to talk to you today about the top channels which focus on technology in YouTube. And I have been programming for some time, and I started off with YouTube as my primary base for programming. But of late, I've also moved into reading a lot of books, and also I've subscribed to some of the paid channels like Udemy and Treehouse, and I find Treehouse to be really good. Here, I wanted to just speak to you about the YouTube channels which are doing good work and what was my perspective on the authors of these channels. So, without further ado, let us jump into it. And I do want to tell you that I am focused on few technologies. So, I am focused on technologies like Vue.js, which is front end, and I'm focused on JavaScript, and I'm focused on Python, and I'm focused on Node.js. So these are my focused languages, and based on that, I've kind of developed an ecosystem of the top programmers. But nevertheless, this kind of a list should also help you in general if you are looking for good technology channels which teach you to code. So let's start off with front end. This is one of the channels which is run by a guy who I think works in Google, and he does pretty good work in terms of creating front end videos, and he does everything. I think he covers everything from Photoshop to Webflow, and there's a ton of work which he's done, CSS and HTML kind of stuff. So very good stuff. So anything anybody wants to be at the front end of stuff, who just wants to stay on the static layer and just dip into JavaScript, this is a great channel to start off with. Very good and expressive guy. He's sort of he's kind of funny, and it's good. So good guy to look at front end technology. Another one I would recommend personally on the front end work is a guy called Brad Hussey, and he does good stuff on front end. So this is his page, and this is one of the videos on
Got
SaaS, I
value from
guess.
the course. I hope you saw potential in working with.
So he's pretty decent as well, uh, and he's done work on Bootstrap and SaaS and stuff like that. So again, that's not my calling. You know, I'm more focused on Vue.js, so I haven't sort of spent too much time here. But nevertheless, good guys here. So moving on, if you are looking at some core developers, then I would start off with this guy called the New Boston. I mean, he's got more than 1.4 million subscribers, so that speaks volumes about this guy. The good part about him is that he makes pretty basic videos. So if you're a noob, you can sort of start understanding. And he doesn't have a. I think he dropped out of college, so he's not kind of a corporatish tutor. He's quite neat and clean, and I think that's the best part. So if you're starting off for a casual channel, he's pretty good, and he does lots of videos. So React and Django and Angular and stuff like that. So and right now I think he's teaching ECMAScript. Though I'm actually a little surprised that he hasn't posted any videos for the last 5 months, which is kind of a little surprising. Maybe he's got a job, maybe he's doing something else, I don't know. So, and that's what happens with most of these guys who sometimes sort of move away from this. So I had a couple of channels which I was quite closely subscribed to, but I was surprised that they sort of moved on and started something on. So that's fine. That's fine. So another one has this guy called Chris Hawks. He works, and I think he just loves to upload videos. So he does a good job. He talks about a variety of topics as well. So he will talk about just not just programming, but he talk about uh, stuff like front end, back end, what sort of happens in corporate world. So he's pretty decent guy. I think his some of his talks sort of get elongated because he talks a lot, but pretty good. And again, he's focused on Django, and I think now he's looking at Node.js. So most of his projects are Django based. Python guy. Moving on, another guy. This is one of my personal favorites. His name is Derek Benas, and he has over 500,000 subscribers. So very good guy. What I like about him is his voice is amazing. He's got that husky and deep voice. So I just going to give you a sneak peek.
Here, I haven't done anything, as you can see. Here is that and Morgue. If you know anything about Don't Starve, you will.
So this is one of the videos he'd done recently. The good part about him is that he makes these, one tutorial full full programming knowledge kind of thing. So he doesn't make so he does make series, but he also makes, a single big video on a programming language, which is good in a way for some people because you don't have to go through different videos for doing that. But personally, if you ask me, I prefer to have a series where I can sort of learn and take a break and then go into another video and then take a break and then go into another video. So I personally don't sort of like that learning, you know, learning path where everything is put into 1 hour, because it's such a huge topic. It's not easy for anybody to grasp it, but he does it more out of fun. I think some people ask him to do that, so he just makes it. But otherwise, pretty good guy. But he's not really beginners guy. He's kind of, I would say, intermediate to sort of, professional level. So his videos are not really meant for beginners, because you would sort of lose touch, because he very quickly jumps from a point to another point in his videos, which is fine, because if you're a beginner, you will want somebody to spend a lot of time on explaining to you what is a variable and what's an array and so on and so forth. But if you're an intermediate guy, you would want to look at other aspects of it. So moving on, we have got another one. This guy, his name is Travers Media. Very good videos. What I like about him again is the fact that he makes very neat and clean videos. He makes videos across topics. So you can see videos are made on jQuery, WordPress, Bootstrap, CodeIgniter. So the good part is that you feel like listening to him.
Posts, pretty much the same thing, except they're posts, and then users, same thing.
And instead of creating pure play programming videos, what he does is he looks at an app, and then instead of building that app, he uses some language, which is another approach in terms of learning. And I think that's a better approach when compared to going and learning to code, because what I've learned is when I've tried to code, I tend to forget the code very soon unless I've used it in some application. Because if I've used in an application, when I remember the application, the code automatically sort of spreads out. But the other way around doesn't work. So he's good at that. And then you have Learn Code Academy, another guy, very decent, and he's got a good subscriber base as well. And I don't look at the subscriber base, to be honest with you, because it doesn't tell you that the person is good or bad. Some of these really frivolous channels, I'm not talking about technology, I'm talking about YouTube channels in general. They have like 10 million, 20 million kind of subscribers, and all they do is open up wrappers for some toys and stuff like that. The subscriber base is nothing. I think what really adds value is the fact that it sort of needs to click with what you want. So this guy is good, and I think this is one of those must-watch videos, because this one talks about
technologies out there. What do I learn? What's the best? Hopefully, you'll learn some great stuff. So starting from
So you should just pick one of these. So he does a lot of work on React, and again, a backend kind of a guy, Redux and Docker, and he's looked at a couple of cards as well. And I think he has also looked at Laravel, JavaScript, and a lot. Yeah, a plethora of that. So pretty good guy. And one of my personal favorites is this guy. His name is Max, and I think he's a German. He makes amazingly nice videos. And what I like about him is the fact that he's a very pleasing character. So you look at him, you feel like listening to him. He's smiling all the time, which is something I don't see in other videos.
In our nice little application, we're now able to add items to the collection.
So I just love this guy. Very good, very nice, and he opens up his videos in a very nice way. Again, he focuses on React, Redux, and I think right now he's doing Vue.js, which is great. And I watched his JavaScript basic tutorial. Very, 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 very good. He's also done a couple of videos on, not couple, he's done an entire series on Laravel and Node. So that's again pretty good. So moving on, I think I want to cover a couple of more guys here. One of them is this guy. His name, I don't know what his name is, but his channel goes by the name of Learn Web Code. So you can check it out. Very, very good. Again.
You'll see that all of this new content gets loaded into the page.
So again, he has an approach of creating an application and fitting in the technology. So there are two kinds of approaches. One is where you teach the technology and then you say, hey, go and develop an application. And another one where you sort of just dip into the technology and then quickly start building an application. And as you build the application, you learn. I think the second part is more exciting. But I think the geek in me says that no, the first part is better. I don't know what's the truth, but somewhere in the middle, but this is the style he uses. So Learn Web Code. And there's another one called All Programming. It's got a very small subscriber base, just 139 videos. And I can't be even sure if he is making all of them. It looks like he's making all of them because the series are very well structured and probably it's just picked up from some Treehouse or some other
We're
website.
sorted out. It's
But
time to start
he's good.
writing our software. Robot method to define our robot.
So again, focused on some Node.js videos. And I think the last of the two, I would look at this guy. His name is Dev Marketeer. He has made some good videos, as I was mentioning, on Vue.js and Laravel, and he has also done stuff on Git. So pretty kind of all-rounded personality, and plugins and sublime text, which is pretty decent. And finally, I want to just touch base on this particular individual. I think I covered him in the videos earlier. His name is Brad Hussey. Again, he focuses on front-end technologies. So that kind of is my subscription list, and if you think you like them, give me a thumbs up. I can talk more about it. So I would say for front-end, use Dev Tips and Brad Hussey. And for backend, if you want to get into one programming area, New Boston has got some great videos. Chris Hawks is good for Python. Derek Menas again for intermediate and advanced. Traversy Media, good videos. Learn Code Academy. Mindspace, my personal favorite. Learn Web Code. All Programming. Dev Marketeers. So here's the list, which I feel is pretty good. And and believe you me, I've gone through several videos and I've learned a lot of things on the web, and I've watched a lot of crappy videos, I've watched a lot of good videos, and this decision has been sort of filtered after that. So I've kept a very small subscription list because I kind of like to keep myself updated with what's going on in the best of the best. So with that, thank you very much, and if you think you want to hear more about it, please do not hesitate to subscribe. Thanks and goodbye.